Hi everybody, and welcome back to Kimbo's Comfort Kitchen. And today we are going to do an old-time favorite, which is steak tartare. Now, I know a lot of people aren't particularly attracted to this particular recipe because they don't like eating raw meat. Some because they don't like the flavor, but also some are just ooped out by the idea, and the health issues. So first, let's address the health issue. As far as food safe is concerned, I'm always very particular about where I get source my tenderloin. I go to my butcher, I let them know a day ahead of time that I'm going to be coming in early in the morning, and I ask them for the center cut of the tenderloin. And the reason I do that is that when they clean up at the end of the day, everything is sanitized, and I know that if mine is the first cut, that I'm not going to be worried about contagion. And they wrap it immediately for me before they start doing any other cutting or butchering. So that's number one. When I get it home, I wash it. I wash it well in cold water, but I wash it. The other thing I do is I'm using raw eggs, so I also wash my eggs. I wash the shell of the egg because the shell is what's really normally going to contaminate it. I've never gotten sick from eating raw egg yolks, and hopefully I never will. But I know that those are always concerns. So I'm just putting this as a disclaimer right now that it is up to you to make sure that your meat is clean and it is not contaminated. And that's what I do, and it works. Now, the other part is that I love tartare. I grew up eating tartare in Denmark. Sounds strange considering it's more of a French dish, but a lot of restaurants serve it and still serve it in Denmark. You can get it here, but what I find is disappointing is when I get it here in a restaurant, they already mix it for me. And the old days, you used to get a platter with the meat cut fine, chopped fine, and then you'd have all the ingredients on the side, and you would be able to mix to your own taste. And so that's what I'm doing today, is I'm going to show you the old-fashioned way, which is right from scratch, how to cut it, and what the ingredients are, and how to mix it. And I'm also going to include how I screwed up at the very end of it. Not a big one, but still big enough. We'd had a couple of cocktails by this point, or should I say some glasses of wine, as we had company over that we were sharing this with. But in the end, it came out awesome, and it's exactly the way I remember it. So I hope you enjoy this one and have a little bit of a laugh along with me too. Okay? So thanks again, we'll see you soon. Right, so let's look at our mise en place. We've got cornichon, we've got shallots, we've got chopped parsley, we've got capers, we have Dijon mustard, got some Tabasco, some Leon Parents. Just as a little extra touch, I've got some black truffle sea salt, which I'm going to use, you don't have to. And I've got some coarse salt and pepper. And of course, the star of the show is a center cut filet mignon. Now you could use top sirloin, but in this case, we're going to use filet mignon. And that's the mise en place. Let's get going. Okay, so here is my center cut tenderloin, beef tenderloin. You want center cut. Now, as I said, you could use top sirloin. Some people say that top sirloin has more flavor to it, but I would suggest that we use this one because it is still bloody tender. And whatever you do, do not put this into a processor. It'll turn it into glue. So very quickly, I'm going to show you. I'm going to cut these into, I don't want to mince it, but I do want to fine chop it or fine cut it. It's not really chop, but you're going to get an idea of the texture. In the old days, we actually used to shave it at the table, but that took a long time, and you'll never see that again. That was over 40 years ago. Now I'm just doing a rough chop. Sorry, the angle's really bad for me here. or 4 times. As I said, very old-fashioned. And this is about as fine as I want to go. Now you can go finer, but I actually like this texture. And you'll see why when we get there. I'm going to finish the rest of it. All right, let's get going. So let's take the star of the show. Now, I could have used a ring, but I'm making this more rustic. I'm just going to use the shell there. I'm going to put this in the center. There we go. And it's very simple. I love this presentation. Much better than having it pre-made for you, because you can now decide how you want to mix it. There's the shallots, the chopped parsley, and got the capers. There you go. And the cornichon right there. There we go. And now it's ready to mix. So we've got Dijon mustard on the side. I've got Liam Perrins. I've got Tabasco. This one actually has got with chipotle in it. And I'm using, this time around, I'm using a black truffle butter, or black truffle sea salt, and cracked pepper.
Oh.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Old-fashioned way, we're gonna build our own. So to start with, let's put the egg on top like this and make sure that gets all around. And then, of course, we need seasoning. So I want some pepper, fresh ground. And I'm using something a little different, which is a black truffle salt instead of regular salt. And little Liam Perrins in there. And a little Tabasco. See, in the old days, we used to get to make up our own at the table rather than having it sent to you pre-made like McDonald's. So now we take all of this. I'm taking the capers and I'm taking all of this, cornichon and the parsley and the onions, and we mix this all into the center. You'll notice I didn't use a ring because I said this is kind of rustic. And did I forget anything? I don't think so. This is good. And then the next thing you do, once you do all of this, is I'm going to take a little bruschetta, take a little piece like that, and then I can taste this. Use my fingers. And it's perfect. So this is a very old-fashioned, authentic beef tartare. I hope you enjoy this. If you like this recipe, please check out my other ones and subscribe. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks, buds. Bye. Okay, I lied. What? I forgot the mustard. And there it is right now. I'm about to mix it in. But you know, it was so darn good from the beginning. I didn't even really miss it. But yeah, you should have that Dijon in there. All right? Talk to you soon, guys.